The sun begins to fade on this humid June afternoon as Joe Pessimato finds himself looking for points. The number 4 seed steps forward, and it's another desperate toss. I think our viewers at home can see why it is so difficult to advance in this tournament. It's certainly worth watching on this beautiful afternoon. Game point has arrived. Joe is staring at another early exit if he cannot find the board. Crutchfield puts his final bag in the air, and he may have the knockout point.
Yeah!
Long drive, if it stays fair, home run!
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
That was absolutely ridiculous!
In past tournaments, I've felt that my shot has just not hit the boards at some points. You know, the game's only up to 21. It can really hurt you. So this is why I've been practicing a lot, taking pointers from Pat.
You want to use your whole board to your advantage, right? If you got room to slide it, slide it.
I think Joe has a lot of potential to really get through this bracket. The players that are coming into this regional tournament, they're really good, but he's put in a lot of time this off season to make something happen. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, I feel like my bags were sliding off the boards a lot. I didn't have enough arc, so I held the bag in my hand a little bit longer, and it seemed to make all the difference in the world.
When it leaves your hand, you want to know what that bag is going to do when it hits the board. I think you've done a good job of that this morning.
Joe always tries his best. His effort is always there. Does the best he possibly can on everything, including this cornholer.
Cornholer.
What do you call it?
Cornhole. Cornhole. So I live in Western Massachusetts, specifically West Springfield, Mass. It's a giant Red Sox community as well. You know, my dad got me into them ever since I was a kid. I saw Pedro Martinez struck out 17. Tampa Bay, back then they were the Devil Rays at Fenway Park. Granted, he lost. It was like, I think, 2-1 game, but he struck out 17. He only did that one other time in his career.
6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for Boston. And Fisk will lead it off, has a single and has walked twice.
So the 1975 World Series is a very important one.
And the wind blowing out. We've had 3 homers tonight, all to right field or right or center field.
Especially my father, he actually went to the game.
There was an ad in the paper, like an application. I filled it out. I sent in my money. A week later, the mailman came to the door and he said to me, "I don't know what you did that was so different from all these other people, but you got tickets." And I says, "You're kidding me."
There it goes, a long drive, if it stays fair, home run!
Not only for the Red Sox, but for baseball, it's a classic moment.
And what if that never happened? What if memories like that never happened? Would they have such a strong following? Who knows?
We ended up having Lou Merlone on from WEI yesterday, and he talked about just that sort of lack of confidence. But maybe that's there with Boston sports fans. Is there doubt about to be big in a game like tonight?
There's as much heat on him, clearly. Give me your perspective on him, because I go, hey, until he accomplishes it, he hasn't accomplished it.
You know, nobody knows what's going to happen. This is the old investment disclaimer, right? You know, past performance is no guarantee of future results. And no matter what we see in these teams, welcome you again to the Backyard Fantasy Sports Podcast right here on The Oat Show. This weekend's Cornhole tournament will be a major opportunity for backyard fantasy owners to take charge in their respective matchups. Now, we've already talked about the players you want to start, but is there anyone worth taking a risk on?
Well, I suppose you could take Joe Pessimato.
Joe Pessimato? Are you serious?
Joe is a serious reach for all backyard fantasy owners. He doesn't even make my top 20 right now.
I think you'd have to be really desperate to start him. The tournament features a lot of players with a lot of success, and from what we've seen, Joe is not one of them.
The grills are fired up, beers are going down easy, and a cash prize is available for whoever comes out on top of today's bracket.
There's a lot of pressure, I think, and you don't know what board you're going to play on.
And I'm drinking some beers. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to get this started. It's been a long time coming. I've been waiting months for this.
Before the tournament started, I actually earned the 4th seed, which is pretty cool. That's a pretty high seeding, and there were 15 players. So I really thought the 4th seed would take me at least a few rounds into the tournament. After the bracket was finalized, I saw that Andrew was my first opponent. And this is a regional tournament, so I didn't really know a lot about him. And I wasn't sure what his skill level was at, so I had to go in 100%.
And we're just getting underway as the first round of bags hit the boards. Grab a beer and take a seat as we watch Joe Pessimato take on Andrew LaFleur in their best-of-3 series.
So early on, I noticed I was able to get to Andrew a little bit. He seemed a little bit frustrated, and I think that helped my game in a lot of ways.
He played aggressively, he attacked the board.
Great food, you know, good burgers, good sausage. So I'm not here for the competition based on my performance.
Made some cornholes. Andrew's a worthy competitor. It's actually my fantasy baseball nemesis. He beat me last week, so it's nice to win this week.
One of my favorite parts about regional tournaments is meeting different people. After the first round, I grabbed a beer with Dave. He's also known as Bucky. He's Pat's grandfather. He had a lot of cool stories. He beat Dan in the first round. He had a great first round. And I got to know him more on a personal level, and he's a great guy, and I enjoyed talking to him.
Once I get in the groove there,
yep.
It's a piece of cake.
My grandfather is really good at backyard sports because he shows up to win.
So I guess we're facing each other next round. May the best man win.
Take it easy on me, Joe.
No, I don't know about that. You look good out there.
Oh, come on.
I think it's going to be a good match for sure. I'm looking forward to it, man.
I haven't showed everything.
You haven't showed all your cards yet?
No.
All right.
After the first round, I found out I was going to play Dave. And I know he's a great player. He actually beat Dan twice, and he shut him out in the first round. Going into the second round, I was on top of the cornhole world. I had 2 shutouts, I was feeling good, felt I could beat anyone. But when the second round started, my game was just off.
Good so far. It's all right.
Early on, I could tell that Dave was a great player. He was hitting shots, he had a great arc, his velocity was amazing. He just kept hitting cornholes, and he took a big lead early on.
And Crutchfield is on a bit of a roll here as he sinks another cornhole.
Joe took his time out, he collected himself, and that's where he really started to get his game back. Before you knew it, he went from like 9 points down just to 3 points down, and I'm sitting there on the sideline saying, okay, this is where Joe's going to make his move.
Pessimato is returning to round 1 form as he sinks another cornhole.
I was more confident, I collected my thoughts, I was making some shots. Then Dave just went on a run, kept scoring points. Next thing I know, it's game point.
Pessimato is looking on. He needs this bag to stay alive. He enters the motion. The bag is in the air. And he's off. He completely missed it.
There was nothing that he could do.
And that will do it. Crutchfield seals the deal.
Tough competition. I held on there for a long time, but Bucky was the overall better player today. I'll be back next summer. I had a great time today, and I'm going to keep training and hope for the best next year and give it my all just like I did today.
This loss still keeps me up at night. But you know what? It keeps me hungry. Next year, I'm going to give my 110%. I'm going to win. Before the tournament started, and that's going to be, you're like a puppet. You're like, eh. All right.
Anybody want a peanut?
Anybody want a peanut?
What do you call it?
Cornhole. Cornhole.